my name is Jen. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to talk about how we Montessori at home. I'm talking a little bit quiet because my son is napping in the other room, but I hope that you can hear me okay. So I have a son. He is almost 14 months old now. And I'd say we've been doing a lot of this stuff probably since like 11 or 12 months. Just as like some background, he did start walking around 10 months old, so I feel like that can kind of affect some stuff because he was able, I feel like once they're able to walk and like they have both hands free to like actually do stuff, that helps rather than crawling around is a little bit more difficult to help with like hands-on stuff. But anyways, so a little bit more background, I guess, would just be that I'm definitely not an expert at Montessori at all. I don't have any training, any schooling, anything like that. This is just something that was really interesting to me once I had my son. I really liked the simplicity of it, how the toys and just their environment was very simple and calming. And I also loved just how it is meant to teach independence and just real life practical skills. That's really, especially as he's getting older, something that's really interesting and fun for me and him. He loves it. So I wanted to start off the video also by saying that you know, it's so easy online to see all of these like beautiful rooms and playrooms and just these setups with all of the, you know, little furniture and everything perfect for these little babies. And while that's beautiful and I would love to be able to get all of that stuff, it's just not really always realistic, you know. And so I just want to say that you don't need all of that stuff to have a Montessori, you know, environment for your baby, for your kid. We certainly have like, I would say like the shelf, I feel like is the only thing that's like furniture wise and stuff. So anyways, I just wanted to say that because I feel like you can get really caught up in like, I mean, I've done it where it's like, okay, I want to do all that, but I have to wait until like we can afford to get like all of this stuff that is required for it. But it's truly not about that. It's really about the mindset of the parent, the environment you do set up for them, and just how you treat them and how you go throughout your day. So I wanted to put that disclaimer and just that explaining of where I'm coming from in terms of this. And yeah, so let me get into some of the things that we do at home. So I'd say the first thing and the thing that is most of our day and most of what we do is practicing real life everyday skills. I forget, this just goes to show how I'm not an expert. I forget what they call it, like practical skills, I think. But we do, I have notes here, we do things like he helps me vacuum. We have a little handheld vacuum that he loves. I give him a little towel and he can help me wipe off his high chair when he's done eating. He helps me wipe off his hands. In his room, which I'm in right now, his closet is just 4 baskets. It's like pajamas, shirts, pants, and then like stuff he's growing into. But he helps me pick out his clothes in the morning. Like I say, I bring him the shirt basket. I'm like, pick out a shirt, pick out shorts and stuff like that. So he's involved in that and learning how to do that. He loves to go outside with our hose and water the grass. He loves to water outside. He loves to help me water the plants inside. I let him, you know, like brush his own hair, brush his own teeth. He loves to do that. He's really into right now working on like zippers, so on like coats and stuff like that. He like zippers little baggies, turning on and off the lights. He loves to do that. And there's a little, I wouldn't let him mess with like electrical sockets, but just to plug in the vacuum to charge it. He really likes to like do that as well. So those are the main like skills and just some examples of like practical life skills that we do. Another big part of Montessori, and which doesn't require, buying any fancy things, is just to simply observe what your child is doing. So I think it's really easy to be like, you just buy them all these toys or books or whatever that you think are cool or that you like or that you want them to play with or whatever. But truly, to get the most benefit out of what your baby is doing every day is just observe what they're doing and see what their interests are. For him, it's like, what toys does he really like to play with? What's he gravitating towards? What's his interest? He really likes this little toy train that he has, or his cars, he really likes wheels. As well as what skills are they naturally really trying to work on. I can see him kind of trying to learn how to jump, so doing activities that help encourage him to learn how to jump, single leg stance activities and stuff like that. Or, like I mentioned, the zippers. He's really into trying to figure out how that works. He hasn't mastered it yet. So just kind of seeing naturally what your child is interested in and setting up the environment in a way that allows them to naturally just work on those things and focus on those things that their brain is, wanting to do. And then another thing that I've started implementing, and this is like a whole nother topic on like the Montessori way of potty training, but we do cloth diapers and I love them, and sometimes we'll go outside and play and he'll get all wet, so I take his diaper off when we come inside, and sometimes I just kind of let him be diaper free for a little bit, and I just watch to observe and see. The other night I totally knew he was about to need to pee, and so I didn't do anything though, because I am still learning, so I was just watching, and I saw it looks like he needs to pee, and so I told him, I said, okay, Finn, if you go pee, will you tell me? Because then at least I want to be able to clean it up. And so he nodded, and he went into the other room, and I was like, it looks like he has to go. And then he goes, he can't really talk that much, but he was making a sound like calling for me. And so I came in and he did. And so, another, way to practice life skills is I was like, oh, wow, you went pee, like, let's go get a towel and clean it up. And he helped me clean it up. And, that's just the beginnings, I feel like, of how we're going to kind of try to do potty training, is just to be aware of his signs that he's showing me, as well as help him kind of become aware of his body and be like, whoa, I felt like I had to pee and I did pee and I see it and I cleaned it up. And it's just, so anyways, I'm going on a total rant, but under the category of observing and watching your child. Another thing that we do that I kind of touched on, and you can see behind me, is like the open shelves. And I do like a little bit of a toy rotation, but that can kind of feel a little bit overwhelming. So honestly, we don't have that many toys, and it's just like every once in a while I switch out like one or two. It's not a big thing that I do, but we have some toys here, and then I have his like books on the ground here, so he can come and he can pick out his books. Like I mentioned, he has his baskets in the closet. I try to just make some things, not all things, because like I said, I'm not gonna buy everything to make it baby size, like the little tables and the kitchens and everything. I'd love to do that, but it's not realistic for us right now. So just the things that I can do, I try to make at his level, and I try to make it so that he can have some independence in those things. Another thing is just go outside every day. That's free and it's amazing for your baby. If you can have them be barefoot, we live in an area where it's not really safe, so we do wear shoes, but just going outside every day and letting them see the nature and see, just experience all the senses that it is to be outside and play in the dirt. And I mean, if you have a baby, I'm sure you know that like babies just love to be outside. So we go outside every single day. Another thing that we do is I model the behavior that I want to see him do. So for example, cleaning up the toys when we're done playing with them, treating objects with respect that we have, you know, using manners, things like that. I try really hard, and I truly believe that just being a role model and showing your child the behaviors you want to see from them is the best way to do it. I mean, I don't feel like telling them to do something and not doing it yourself, as cliche as that is the way to go. I think that kids are smarter than that, and they watch you. So really what I try to do, this is a point I put later on, but I don't do chores while he's sleeping unless, like, there's some, like, I hang dry his cloth diapers outside, and that's not really safe for him to do with me because it's on the porch and we don't have a gate. But, you know, for the most part, dishes, vacuuming, cleaning, laundry, I do it all when he's awake so that he can see, I can model to him what it takes to keep a household running, what it takes to keep our house clean, and, you know, just real life things that I want him to learn and I want him to participate in as much as he can as he's ready to and as he's old enough. But for now, he's just watching me and seeing, you know, like, that's what my mom does. Like, that's just what we do. So another thing I try to do, and I say try because, I mean, I'm not perfect at this, is I try to not use rewards or punishments. And that's kind of just a philosophy in Montessori that I think can be really beneficial for my son, at least. I realize that he's just a baby, you know, and so if he's doing behaviors that I'm not happy with, that aren't something that I would prefer him to be doing, you know, I try to look at the environment. I try to look at, is he hungry? Is he tired? Is he sleepy? Is he teething? What's going on that could possibly be having him have this behavior? And is there anything that I can do in the environment to change it, to set him up for success, so that next time, you know, especially if you see it as a pattern, what can you do as the parent who's setting up the environment for your kid to make it be better for them and setting them up for success? And if it's something, you know, that doesn't fall into that category, then maybe looking at, is there a way that you can help them learn problem solving skills, so that if they're getting frustrated, if they're not able to do something, if someone is taking a toy from them, if they're wanting to do something, you know, how can you help them so that they have the skills to work through whatever they're dealing with? So that's another point. And then the last thing I have here on my list is that I try, for the most part, if I can, like I said with the previous one, to not interrupt him when he's really concentrated and really engaged in an activity. So sometimes it's time to change his diaper. Sometimes it's time to have lunch or take a nap. But realistically, I mean, he's not going to be super engaged in an activity at 14 months old for longer than like a minute or two. So if he's really focused and working on something, I wait and I let him be in that, because that concentration will just build and build. And that independent play, it's just also good for him. And it all also comes back down to respect, you know. I try to think about, if I were him and I was really engaged playing, focusing on something, I wouldn't want someone to be like, okay, come on, let's go. You know, I'd want to finish what I was doing, because then in the back of your mind, you're kind of always thinking about it. You know, he might be wanting to hurry up and finish lunch because he wants to go back to what he was doing, or he might have a hard time falling asleep because he's like, I was like doing this thing and I didn't get to even finish it. And so I really tried to just let him finish whatever activity he's doing when he's really concentrated and engaged in it. So those are my 8 tips of what we do to Montessori at home with my 14-month-old. yeah, I'm really excited for him to get older and be able to do more and more things, practice more and more practical life skills with him as he gets older. I feel like this is just the start of it. He's just getting at the age where he really can participate and help me in what we're doing in the house, and it's just so much fun to watch him. So yeah, if you have any questions about anything else, or you want to see any other Montessori videos or anything like that, go ahead and comment them down below. And if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. And I look forward to making more videos, and I'll see you soon.